Roll.
Wearing 511 pants for 15 years. They're stylish, they're tough, they're durable, and they're stretchy. Go to logo. Cut to logo.
Hey folks, here we are back again on the show floor in the broadcast booth at the USCCA Concealed Carry Expo, and we are with USCCA superstar Beth Alcazar.
I like that. That's kind of cool. I might have to change my title.
Superstar.
Superstar.
I like it. So anyway, we are thrilled. We got Beth here on stage with us. Beth, as you know, she's an instructor, training counselor, runs a lot of that division, and writes a lot of great articles, does some videos, writes books.
Yeah.
You working on any books right now?
No books right now. I'm helping with some editing, but nothing being written by me right now.
Yeah?
There's just too much other
you got
stuff
a lot
going
on. Your plate,
Yeah.
So, Beth, we were having an interesting conversation just a minute ago, and a common question. I mean, I see it all the time. I see it on our social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we do some video, right, and we'll get the comments, and a lot of times they're from female concealed carriers. Like, what gun should I get for concealed carry?
Goodness.
You know, and it's a loaded question.
Yes.
But you were sharing with us a little bit about your own journey.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, could you share that with us some more here?
Yeah, I was just saying that, you know, for a long time I've had the same everyday carry gun, and I love the gun, and I actually compete with it. So for IDPA, instead of getting out, you know, the full-size gun, we're getting the backup division going, which I think is really great for the concealed carry lifestyle because it does offer a unique way to kind of practice with that gun. So my XDS has been, you know, tried and true for the longest time.
45 or 9?
The 9.
I figured.
And I mean, nothing wrong with the 45. That was my very first gun that I wanted to choose for me, like without any other outside influences. That was the one that I gravitated toward, and it could be because I had the, you know, regular size and just maybe was familiar with the XD platform, things like that. But I don't know. Plus the grip safety with kids, I guess at one time it was just really prominent in my mind as far as, okay, I don't really want a manual safety, a thumb safety. Right. But the grip safety to me didn't feel like that extra step.
Yeah.
I didn't have to think about it, but still it was kind of a safety feature if the kids, by, you know, some horrible fluke, inadvertently came across the firearm and, you know, they wouldn't be able to manipulate it properly. Can't press the trigger without that, of course, being utilized. But I've moved now to the 365.
Oh, interesting.
And I just got so intrigued, of course. Who didn't, honestly?
Yeah. Yep.
So much hype about this gun, and of course being the magazine capacity, really, right?
We're both fans. We both have them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's
a cool
like,
gun.
it is cool. And it was just so fascinating to think how they would craft it in such a way that you're able to put so many rounds and get that much more than a gun basically the same size or similar size. I was like, this is intriguing. So I actually got it as a birthday gift. So that's always fun,
Happy birthday.
right? Yeah, happy birthday to me. And I really like it.
Good.
I like it. It's very different from the XDS as far as the feel, the grip size, the trigger. Everything is very different, but I feel like women just, they're not sure what to do when it comes to guns, and I think you always have to make some kind of compromise. And I was thinking about magazine capacity. Well, what if you don't want to compromise on magazine capacity? What if you don't really want to have multiple magazines on you? Extra, right? Mm-hmm. Especially for a girl. We're struggling enough trying to find that concealed carry option that works. And it's like, oh, by the way, not only do you need that gun and that full mag, you need all these other things. Here's your flashlight, here's your knife, and here's your extra mag and the extra mag and the extra mag. And this kind of maybe is one of those things that can solve one of those issues for ladies who really do need that smaller profile gun, which honestly, 365 is pretty easy to conceal.
Yeah,
it surprisingly.
Is small, especially in the 10-round configuration.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about that too. I mean, do you like the 10-round or the 12-round extended mag?
I like both. I guess it depends time of year. I can't really get away with it as much in the summertime. Lighter, looser clothing as thinner fabric.
Yep.
Sometimes that just kind of pokes out a little bit too much. But having that option is also great too.
Right.
And I think ultimately when it comes to females and guns, the options are what's really most important for us across the board, because there's no one size fits all. I mean, I don't want a woman to go get her husband's gun or her friend's gun or her instructor's gun or whoever. I want her to get her gun.
Exactly.
And honestly, it's a journey, and you have to look at so many different options and so many different things. We just had a seminar that I did over here about it's more than just fit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we've almost locked ourselves into this. We go to the gun store, and if the gun store clerk is helpful to a female. And I'm sorry, I hate
That's a
to be
big
kind of.
unfortunately.
It's
Yeah.
still.
I've seen it.
Still an if. If he's helpful, it's often like, well, pick this up, see how it feels, see if it fits. And it's like they don't even know what that means.
Correct.
And honestly, there's more to it than that. That's like, okay, I'm going to go get a pair of shoes and put them on, and that's it. I'm not going to walk in them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything with them. I'm just going to sit there. Well, of course they fit. But
Right.
that's because you haven't walked in them. You didn't know that they pinched and that it was really uncomfortable and that you didn't like the I don't know, the height of the heel. There's so many other things. If they're not actually shooting it, manipulating it, I mean, what if they can't reach the mag release?
Yeah.
Then they're breaking
Huge.
the grip.
It's a big, yep.
Yeah.
Is that really what you want to do? What if they don't like the sights? Maybe they didn't know it was an option to go try a different type of sights.
Yeah.
I mean, like I actually put, the XS sights on my Glock 43.
Yep.
I can dot the eye or put the little lollipop on the post. I mean, I think that's kind of a cool, almost intuitive
You're a
type
big
of
fan
thing.
of those sites as well.
Big
Right?
fan, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think women really, they need to know it's more than just fit. Does it feel good? And yeah, does it shoot well? Can you manage the recoil, stuff like that? But they don't realize there's so many other things to it, including like the manual safety or the grip safety or reaching the magazine release or the trigger press. I mean, my husband and I shoot the same, kind of by happy accident, we shoot a lot of the same guns for competition. We both have full-size M&P 9 for a lot of competition as well. And I remember inadvertently grabbing his gun, putting it in my holster, getting ready to do some practice and training. I get the gun up on target, boom, and I'm like, oh. I barely pressed the trigger. I mean, I was on target, ready to shoot, but I hadn't really thought that I'd press the trigger. It was so light, it just boop. Like, okay, I don't like that. I'm glad you like that competition, man. But for me, it's like I that's not for me.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of ladies, especially, or new folks, they don't know that's even something to consider. So there's so many different steps, so many pieces of the puzzle, and I just encourage women, it's more than just, oh, does it feel good or does it look good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty.
That's the worst. I can't. That like rips out my soul every time I see a woman come to a concealed carry class, and she's like, I just went out and bought this gun for this class, and the clerk gave me this pink LCP, and I'm like,
yep.
It's
every time.
How often have you shot? This is the first time. I'm like, so he gave you the most difficult gun to shoot in a nice color, and this is the gun for you. Like, we're gonna have a hard time, like, so it's like, but we're talking about guns. You recently switched over to a new gun. What about carry, the method of carry? So women have, like, they might carry purse carry or smaller back. Have you stayed the same as you switched over to your new gun, or? Well,
and to clarify, I'm actually just adding a gun, not switching a gun.
Okay.
I guess I should really clarify that. My XDS is now my backup gun.
Okay.
And I carry it in a handbag. But I also carry my 365 in a crossbreed appendix holster.
Got it.
So with the XDS, I actually struggled a little bit trying to find something on body I was comfortable with. It was just a little bit bulkier, especially in the grip area. Wasn't as flat or slim as a profile. So that one sometimes was a belly band, something that would kind of compress more.
Yeah.
But the 365 I've found pretty good luck with, again, as long as I don't have the extension. It pokes out a little bit too much. But I've found really good luck with that. And yes, I'm a proponent of on-body and off-body. I like them both for different reasons. Yeah. And for me, it's kind of one of those, I do both. So there, all those who want to argue, well, you can't put it in your handbag because this and this and this. I'm like, well, fine. I do both. And I'm still very cautious about my bag and where it is at all times.
And how do you manage that? I'm curious.
There's a couple different things.
You got kids, obviously.
Yeah, I have 3 children. The oldest is old enough to know better. She's almost 17 now. And the middle child, our son, is 9, and the baby is 5. But with my handbag, I highly recommend stuff for women that would be hands-free, obviously, especially with kids. You got to grab a hand or you have to hold something. I mean, there's always something that mom is responsible for that she didn't want to be. Stuffed animals, food, whatever. But anything that you can do cross-body, obviously, I think is a real big benefit, because is that truly off-body then? If it's all the way pressed up against your body and your hands free, I think that's a pretty close to on-body experience. I do carry sometimes in a tote, but again, I train with this. and I think through scenarios, and I don't let it out of my sight. In fact, even if I sat down like this, eat at a table, I plop it in. No, I'm just kidding. That would be rude. I actually hang it off my knee, and my arm will rest on it. And technically, if I needed to reach to my firearm, my right hand is free to literally just go into the side of that bag like this, and it would, I mean, with practice, it's smooth and accessible. And I mean, sometimes that appendix, I mean, if I'm sitting and talking and having conversation, now what?
Right.
I have to get to here, and I have to open up my hips to get safely to the firearm. What if I don't have that option? So I don't know. I've played along with all these different types and ways and methods, and I just really cringe if someone says, you're doing it wrong. Maybe they're not. Maybe that's right for them. So now I'm kind of living the both lifestyles. I guess I'm doing both and liking it. It's kind of cool.
Very cool.
It's like, I've got 2 guns.
Well, I think that's really key, though. I mean, options are good.
Oh, yeah.
And I think women really need options.
Yes.
And they need more options than the really small, teeny gun that's pink or purple.
And speaking of options, the real fun thing that my husband and I love to laugh about, because I mean, we had guns. I mean, we had guns for home protection. I never really did hunting or anything like that, so we didn't have any long guns, but we did have the home protection gun. And I remember at one time, long, long ago, and he had mentioned, hey, what if we looked at this gun? I'm like, well, they're all the same. Yes, I actually one time believed that they were pretty much all the same.
Well,
a handgun.
We all have a starting point, right?
Well, yeah.
Everybody.
Well, a handgun is a handgun, but now I've got handguns that I kind of like for competition. I've got handguns that I really like for certain outfits or weather or whatever the case may be. And even though it's really fantastic for us to say, carry the same gun the same way all the time, that's not real life, especially as a mom, a female. The clothing options, the clothing changes, the different hats we wear, both literally and figuratively. I'm a big proponent of that for sure. But if it's not the way that you can live your life, then have at least 2-3 go-tos that you're just really confident with. Again, I'm really confident and really pretty decently good with my XDS. I don't want to give that up. So my compromise is now I carry both.
That's cool. Awesome. I think that's really good advice. So unfortunately, we're out of time, but Beth, thank you for joining us on the stage here again for the Concealed Carry Expo.
Absolutely.
Beth, what's next for you from here?
Oh, gosh. I'm actually making a trip very soon to Sacramento, California. Ooh. They love guns, right? So it's going to be exciting to do another instructor class with our defensive firearms program. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Busy.
Good stuff.
Well, folks, thanks again for watching. Here just in a bit, we'll be back live again. We'll have Tom Grieve coming up in just a few minutes. So stick around. We have a lot more great content coming to you from here at the Concealed Carry Expo.
Heading to go train. Got my range bag, got my gun bag. Now I got my safety equipment. Medical gear, I'm ready to hit the range.